Now, all right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to VYTALCast number 91 with Jeremy from JN Productions.
Yeah, Jeremy Noir Productions, whichever y'all want to call me.
Okay. Yeah, so we were just, I'm trying to close out a Discord on my phone now that I've done that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about Out in the Open, which
Yes.
was a really good episode, and you were telling
It
me
was.
a bit of your thoughts beforehand. Um,
Yeah.
Thomas is immediately in the chat.
He told me he was gonna be there like the minute it came on. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Also, I just want to give a big thanks to Thomas for sharing this on his community tab. Like he's like one of the few people that like actually do that, and it means a lot. Hey, Siloid and Verif. Uh, fun fact about Vincent or Silob. I always say Siloid. He and I should be rooming together for RTX this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Vincent, you should have told me that.
Yeah. Are you going to RTX this year?
I wish, but no, I do not have the money for it.
Yeah.
I am going to Orlando MegaCon this year though. So
Oh, nice.
if any of y'all are coming to MegaCon, say hi because I'm gonna be there all 4 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember I talked to Thomas about it as well, and like he said the same thing because of the book. But it's like you guys will get here when you get here. I mean, I'm just looking forward to whenever I'll meet you guys all in person, because that's like the big main reason why I go to RTX is so I can meet all my RWBY tuber friends in person.
Yeah.
And sadly, my usual hotel and other YouTube friends group, they're not going to RTX this year. They're going to Japan instead.
Aww.
Yeah, they're going to Japan instead. I'm like, man, if I could afford going to Japan, I would do that, but like I can't, so might as well just go to RTX.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just I don't know. It's gonna be different this year, but I'm really looking forward to having Silod, and we got Modern Camera Guy as our other roommate so far, and we got a possible fourth. Well, two possible fourths, and I'm just waiting to hear back from them at the end of the month on that. So
Gotcha.
yeah, rooming situation surprisingly done. Okay, anyway, we got off track from RWBY.
Yeah.
let's get this conversation out of RTX and into RWBY. So we were sorry. I was like, man, title puns, huh? Yeah, you're talking about how this chapter 10 had the same vibe as volume 3's chapter 10.
Yes. Almost exactly. Like basically setting up for the bigger battles to come, but also having a lot of action, showing everywhere our heroes are, stuff like that.
Yeah. Something I noticed while rewatching the episode right before we went live is I think the streetlights in Mantle turn red only if there's Grim on the street.
Yeah, I was wondering that because I mentioned that to Thomas while we were reacting. That when Nora was getting all the citizens together, there were still districts that were in red, and I was like,
Yeah.
It seems weird that not all of them would like go into red alert if
Well,
the entire city was at danger.
so here's the logic that I came up with. Because this is where I noticed it was actually when after Penny got thrown and the Goliath comes onto the street, when she and RWBY come up with a new plan.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's like, come get here, you old bag of bones. Right when it comes into the street, that's when the lights start turning red. I'm like, huh, that's weird. But I think it's like a way of tracking where the danger is. So if you see a street with red in it, then like don't go into
to
that
evacuate.
Street. Yeah. So it could kind of help people like travel safely. Like they're like, all right, if we're staying only on green streets, we could get out. Yeah. Oh yeah, Inspector Who said that in the comments as well. Thomas is like, I shall return shortly. No one commit arson.
Arson.
Which I think that might be the other thing that makes the lights go red is when people commit arson as well. We could, I would say we could put that to a test, but we're not in Mantle right now, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was like a clever thing to that they put into the show, because honestly, it's like such a small detail that like only some people would notice, and then even
Yeah.
less people will really catch on to like what it is.
Yeah, to be fair, I even didn't catch on to it until I actually binge rewatched all of Volume 7 like 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. And I only just now noticed that on the rewatch.
And also Sonic Rose, hello and welcome to the chat. And
Hello there.
Inspector Who's like, arson was committed when the heat went out. Well, yeah, the heat's
Well,
still
half
out.
Team RWBY
Still
committed
out.
arson.
Yeah, yeah. Yang especially. She's our fire baby. Um, and then Weiss, I believe, is the other one if you count Brunswick Farms.
The apathy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then actually,
And then there's Blake with Menagerie.
yeah, Blake with Menagerie. No, I think we could say like the whole team, because Emerald Forest as well. RWBY.
I didn't even
RWBY
think
and
of that.
Weiss
Yeah.
started that fire as early as Volume 1. They caught the forest on fire. So I think it's safe to say.
To be fair, though,
entirety...
that was more Weiss than RWBY, considering Weiss was the one using fire dust.
Yeah, but like that was like a misfire because she was trying not to hit RWBY. You know.
Yeah.
And also, like, did you catch? Oh, man, which chapter was it? There was a throwback to that moment in this volume. I think it was when they were fighting in the cave. I believe it was when they were fighting in the cave, when Weiss was set up to do the same attack and Harriet took the target instead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, like, because, like, Weiss went into the exact same pose and launch that when RWBY took the target, caused the fire. But yeah. Yeah, I joined the topic of discussion in which each team member committed arson.
Committed arson.
I mean, they did. I mean, yeah. But, you know, with them committing arson, they gotta keep warm. I mean, I'm trying to keep warm right now, which is why I'm having this jacket on and the heater on in the background. And
I wish I could say I'm keeping warm, but I live in Florida, so I'm trying to keep cold right now.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I think I take the heat problem. Like, it's easier to get warmer than cold. But yeah, what did you think of, like, the whole thing with Robin and Ironwood? Like, their big reveal in the city.
I really... that was not how I was expecting it to go down. Okay. So, I did expect Ironwood to release the truth publicly sometime. I did not expect him to do it right away while Grimm were invading Mantle.
Yeah, I was like, how many people are actually going to be paying attention enough to
exactly,
this
yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm like, there's so many people running for their lives, like, wait. Hey, Grimm, hold off. I need to listen to this. Robin supports Ironwood? What? There's a weird witch lady? You guys are controlled by witch ladies? Grimm, did you know that? How long have you been keeping this secret from us? Come on, tell us. Yeah, it's... the Grimm are totally gonna politely sit there and wait. They're like, oh, yeah. We're like, we've known about Salem the whole time. We just didn't tell you guys anything because we didn't want you guys to freak out, you know. We care about you
like,
guys.
literally, when I was rewatching it, there were shots of people running from Grimm as Ironwood was talking, and in my mind, I'm just like... James, I don't think people are hearing what you're saying right now.
I mean, I was thinking like, well, at least the people in the shelters or some of the safe zones can hear them, you know, but it's still like, if I was in the shelter, I'd probably be busy trying to reunite with loved ones or, you know, making sure I have a spot to sleep if it's going to come to that. It's... Yeah, there was some stuff, but I was surprised just as you that they did it then and now. I was like, okay, yeah. I would have waited till the heat was back on and people were calm. Like, they're gonna have to do a rebroadcast of that eventually.
Yeah.
Or they'll watch it be awkward and be like, only Robin or only Ironwood because one of the two died, and they're like, so we did an original broadcast where it was both of us. One of us got murdered by a crazy person or a tech genius. both sides of the spectrum. uh, yeah. Let's see. Sonic Rose is saying, "Well, the Grimm seemed patient at least." Yeah, I'm sure they cared about the broadcast. Saying, "I'm surprised Watts fell for such an obvious trap, but it's also possible he was prepared for this eventually." Considering how ready he was to fight,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I think he didn't think it was a trap, but he was definitely prepared if it was.
Watts is the type of person that plans for all eventualities, so I highly doubt that he wasn't prepared to actually fight someone in Amity Arena.
Well, also...
Or Amity Coliseum, because people go back and forth between Insane Arena and Coliseum.
Yeah, it's true. They've said it both ways. Yeah, I was thinking, like, also, like, I think he was one of the people that helped build the arena, which is how he helped Cinder and them hack into it. And then also why he was just like, oh yeah, my magical rings, they're already tapped in. Boom, gravity, let's do this. And he seemed to be familiar. Like, he seemed to be, like, looking around like, ah, yes, this project. Like, I love this. But I also thought it was interesting that we saw the hallway that Ruby finds out that Mercury's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was like perfectly identical, so I'm like, oh, that might be the exact same hallway.
Hallway.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It brought some weird nostalgia vibes, also for chapter 10, because that's also the chapter, or no, chapter 9 was when Penny.
Yeah, chapter 9 was when Ruby was fighting with Mercury. It was more that she was trying to get away, and Mercury was just kicking the shit out of her.
Yeah, he was like, no, you can't leave. Yeah. Let's see. Inspector Who was saying, no lie, that was Watts' big mistake. However, I really hope Ironwood has backup and didn't go alone.
I mean, judging off the little clip we got in RT's 2020 video, he went in alone.
He went in alone. And, the whole thing's just hype. Like, I loved the whole thing. Like, I was rewatching, I'm like, man, this scene just screams hype. I never expected Ironwood versus Watts to be the fight I'm more excited about out of the possible fights. Like, Tyrion versus the three, I'm like, that's not having any hype for me compared to Watts versus Ironwood. I was like, Iron Daddy, please.
And, like, no hate on Tyrion, but I'm also more concerned about the stuff going on with Cinder and Neo than I am the fight with Tyrion and Robin.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so here's the only thing I'm concerned about the Tyrion fight. And honestly, when I say it out loud, everyone's like, that sounds like it should have more concern, possibly. But I think Clover's gonna die in the fight.
Everyone's been saying that, and I really hope it doesn't happen, but there's a huge possibility of it happening.
Yeah, so... like, the intro for this volume has been very good at, like, hinting and showing, like, the events in the volume. And Clover's not in that fight in the intro. Yeah. Which, I'm like, that makes it sound like death flags. And there's also, like, there's been two conflicting theories. There's, like, the Aesop's traitor theory and that one of the Aesops is gonna die theory. And my money's kind of a bit more on the one's gonna die theory right now.
Same here. I think it's, if they were going to introduce one of the Aesops as a traitor, it would have been earlier in the game than this.
Yeah, or at least in chapter 10 would have been like the chapter.
There's also the fact that with Clover having a semblance of good luck being everywhere around him, it would be perfect dramatic irony for him to be the one to take the fall.
Yeah, it would have been. Oh man, they're like, you were supposed to have plot armor. What happened? Your semblance was literally plot armor. How did this happen? The act of God happened. He still died. Verif saying, funny to come back to the same place, even though it's in a different place.
Sonic Rose, you were the chosen one.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing that I was trying not to quote. I was like, the chosen one. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, like, even though with, like, the concern of Clover possibly gonna die in that fight with Tyrion, I'm more hyped for Ironwood versus Watts.
Yeah, same here.
Especially when the grav field was cut content from Volume 3.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, oh man, I'm still a bit sad we never got to see Sun fight in it, because it was supposed to be Sun versus I think it was Sun and Neptune versus Pyrrha and Nora.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, oh man, like that would have been such a good fight. And like I could totally imagine like how Sun will be just jumping around, because he already does that, but with no gravity, that would have been like perfect for him. and then like Nora, I could totally see just like whacking a piece with her like hammer to like send part of the arena flying at them.
True.
And
it also would have been nice to like actually see Neptune go all out in a fight and not be scared of water the entire time.
Yeah, and yes, seriously, Neptune, like being scared of water. I'm like, Neptune, please, my boy.
Lee just joined the chat.
Yeah,
hey.
Hello, Lee. Just said hi, my boys. Lee, I'm so excited to see you at RTX. And just everyone in the chat that's going to be at RTX. Like, Inspector Who, are you still going to it? Sirs and Madams, are you going? Or Bruce, since I just see. Said, I'm still intrigued by Ren's spidey sense going off twice when Clover is around as the common denominator. Was it Clover or was it Marrow? It might have been. I think
it was Clover, because the second time it went off, it was in Chapter 6 when Clover and Ironwood came in to tell them that they had the day off.
Oh, yeah, it was Clover. Yeah. And also, like, gonna open up my... Oh, dang it. No. Put that down. No. I forgot I was in the wrong tab. Gonna open the correct tab. And then I'm gonna show it. Okay, so on VRV, I was showing like all the behind scenes stuff for the stream. I'm like, whoops. Luckily the stream key is hidden. But the next episode's called Gravity, so it's very much sounds like it's gonna be focused on the Ironwood versus Watts fight for a bit. It could also be like the gravity of the situation, like things getting serious. But
a lot of people have also pointed out the line in the intro with always hoping that a lightning bolt is going to save you from this gravity, and people think that Nora is going to have a more important role than she's letting on.
Yeah, I always thought she said tragedy instead of gravity. Is it gravity? I'll have to ask
gravity.
Flint of RWBY about that. Be like, hey, what exactly is that line? But yeah, if it is a lightning bolt saving you from this gravity, what do you think that is?
A lot of people have been theorizing that Freya is somehow related to Nora in some way. And
so you think... Okay, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, and I kind of explained a theory to Thomas that before Nora was an orphan that arrived in... Not Menagerie. Why did I say Menagerie?
In
Kuroyuri. That's
Kuroyuri. Yep.
Kuroyuri and everything. She used to be from Mantle, and she actually became an orphan when Ironwood took away the only family she had, which was Freya. Mm-hmm. And then Nora, realizing that, being an orphan child in Mantle is literally the worst fucking thing that can happen to you, she hopped on the first transport she could to the continent of Anima, hoping to find a better life somewhere. And the first person she ran into was, of course, Ren and Kuroyuri.
Yeah. Okay. But you're thinking like maybe Nora is gonna like get the Winter Maiden powers soon.
That's what I've been thinking. My two candidates for the Winter Maiden are not Winter, because Winter just seems way too obvious at this point. For me, my top two candidates are either Nora or Neo. Okay.
Yeah, Neo, that would be a surprise with like the stuff that's going on there.
Yeah. The reason I have Neo as one of my top two candidates is because, well, one, there was literally a skit in RWBY Chibi that somewhat hinted at Neo possibly becoming the Winter Maiden.
And it's not the first time Chibi, this volume specifically, has like revealed something. So it's like,
And it's also the fact that someone mentioned, I think it was Dan that mentioned, that if Neo were to get the Winter Maiden powers, she could finally go toe to toe with Cinder and get revenge for Roman.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, it just it makes me sad that like Neo's gonna have to commit murder. I mean, she's probably murdered before, but it's always different seeing her actually commit the murder. It's one thing to know about it; it's another thing to see it. It's if you haven't seen it, you can at least pretend to ignore it. If Neo gets the Witcher power, she could make ice cream. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she could. She could finally make ice cream without the need of a McDonald's machine. Perfect. Yeah, and Verif is saying like Neo versus Cinder is why he's on board for Neo. Awesome. Oh wait. Sirs and Madams Entertainment, or Bruce from there, is saying all of the students are referred to as Lightning in This Will Be the Day.
Oh yeah, we are lightning strained from the thunder.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So wonder.
I wonder if they would kind of like use a weird intro continuity like that, or lyrical continuity with songs that aren't necessarily connected. If that's making sense, but that's a good observation as well. So I was gonna read the description for the next episode, because there was like the last line kind of hints towards maybe the theory of a traitor being true, because I guess the theory for the Aesops, even though they could be kind of conflicting, they could also both happen. If there's a traitor and the traitor dies, that makes sense. Between Watts, Tyrion, and the seemingly endless swarm of Grimm, evil is encroaching on our heroes from all sides. The biggest threat, however, may be hiding where they least expect it. However, I almost want to say that line is leading towards more Neo and Cinder.
That's what I was thinking too. A lot of people were going straight to the idea of, oh, that means there's going to be a traitor. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, it could just mean Neo and Cinder, guys.
Like, they literally were like, let's go after Farm Boy. And Neo, we literally see Neo turn into RWBY, be like, RWBY. What about RWBY? It's like, oh, no, they could they could totally use that disguise of RWBY to catch Oscar off guard. And I've seen like another theory of like, will Neo kiss Oscar as RWBY?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that would be heartbreaking. That, like, Inspector Who says Neo kisses Oscar as RWBY and steals his first kiss and the relic. She's stealing multiple things, He'll be so like disarmed by that he'd just be like, he won't even notice Jin's missing from his waist.
There's also the fact that a lot of people want Oscar and Neo to fight because hopefully it will reveal Oscar's semblance.
Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Verif just made the perfect JoJo reference.
Her name just rhymed with T.
It's like, you thought your first kiss would be RWBY, but it was I, Neo! Like, we need someone to do that. Like, I am so gonna, after this episode, I'm gonna Photoshop Neo or like RWBY and Oscar like kissing, and then like have it be Neo with the Dio face, like, it was I, Dio. Like, oh my gosh, that one was so perfect, because that's where the meme comes from. Because Dio, have you seen JoJo?
Yes. Well, I've seen some of it, not all of it.
Well, it's in part 1. It's like in the first episode or 2. So Jonathan, so like the first JoJo, Jonathan, he has a crush on this girl, and Dio, to screw with Jonathan, steals her first kiss. And he's like, you thought your first kiss would be Jonathan, but it was me, Dio. And
I remember the memes more than I do the actual series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, the series just turns into memes at some point. Also, I want to say hello to Crystal Dragon Senzi.
Senzi, hi, how you doing?
Yeah. But oh man, that was like the perfect JoJo reference. Thank you so much. honestly, like Oscar, I would feel so bad for if his first kiss was Ruby. Well, Neo disguised as Ruby. Like, it's like, man, that must be so awkward. Like, imagine like he survives all that and he still sees Ruby after that. It's like, ooh, you know, like he has to like try to explain the whole situation. Like, ugh, that'd be so weird. But I could totally see it being like Oscar seeing Neo, being like, "Oh, hey, Ruby," and before like Neo or like before he could even talk or like Neo has a chance to talk, she'll just kiss him because that'll shut him up. But then also like it's the perfect like I can't talk thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's her way of like being able to distract him, but communicate because he's gonna think it's suspicious if Ruby can't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm personally hoping that he realizes it's not Ruby because she's not talking. Yeah, that's why I think that she's just gonna immediately go for the kiss. But who knows? Maybe Cinder will be around the corner and like be doing her best Ruby impression, and like Neo at her best is like trying to lip sync, and it's just.
Oh God. Now I'm just imagining Jessica Negri trying to imitate Lindsay.
It'd be so good though. It would be so funny. Like it could totally be like a Ruby Chibi thing. Like, yeah, Inspector Who. Right when I said Chibi, his thing popped up. Oh man. It's like, and Oscar's like, oh, that's weird, Ruby. Your voice isn't exactly lining up with your mouth. Like, that doesn't make sense. Oh man. Gosh, there's just so much meme potential with Volume 7 as well. Like the Bumblebee selfie.
It seems like
meme.
every single chapter has made a new meme.
Yeah, it like we had the Bumblebee selfie meme. We've had the there were some other memes, I swear. There was the stop sign meme.
Yes.
There was
Crow's face when Clover caught him in chapter 3.
Really? I guess
Yeah.
I missed that meme altogether, or I didn't see it. Wait, oh, Jade would defeat. Wait, who's Jade? Who's Jade? Jade will.
Oh, Jade from Victorious.
Oh, oh, sorry. Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. Jade would defeat Salem without trying. I would agree, and also Jade could step on me. Like honestly, like. Jade was one of the few goth crushes I had when I was younger. It was, oof. Yeah. Oh, the Penny Landy meme. Yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah, and Vincent's bringing up my JoJo Ruby Penny cut. I took the scene of like Ruby and Penny reuniting, and I put JoJo audio to it.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, oh, you're coming closer. It's like, yes.
I also remember a lot of people making memes out of the stretchy Penny animation when Penny catapulted herself into Ruby.
Oh, wait, yeah, that one. Okay, I was trying to think. I was like, there was another Penny one, I swore, but that's it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, finger pistol like Master Hand from Smash Bros. Yeah, I remember people were showing like was it Lee that I saw posted on Twitter yesterday? She posted like it was like Ruby with finger guns, and then it was like someone else with like a fake gun, and then it was Ironwood with his gun, I think. I might be remembering it incorrectly. But that'd be
Oscar semblance. Sonic Rose. Oscar's semblances will be revealed to be the finger holds Skadoosh Fang from Kung Fu Panda.
He's like, hey, Ruby, pull my finger. Neo falls for it. Jade Harley. Okay. All right. So, oh, also, can I just make one comment about Robin's weapon?
What about it?
It having a bowstring is really stupid. Like shooting arrows instead of bullets.
Yeah.
It's less effective. And I was like, man, those arrows are slow. And then Tyrion catches it with his fingers. I'm like, yeah, you should have like had a gun or something, you know? It's also harder to just load arrows, but I need to see like how their arrows are loaded in, because it seems like she could have multiple and then still like shoot.
Where does she get the arrows from?
Beats me, honestly. Like, they're not even dust infused arrows. Seriously, I half expected like an Avengers reference. You know when like Hawkeye shoots at Loki and he catches it and he
Oh
puts on this
yeah.
smug face and it explodes. I half expected that with Tyrion, but then it didn't happen. So I was like, oh, cool. That just makes Robin's weapon that less cool. Like, sorry, Robin, your weapon kind of sucks. Um, like, maybe it's because she wasn't preparing for like any actual fighting, just protesting, and that's why they did arrows, because they're not that threatening to a hunter.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It's, I mean, it's just after the stuff with Tyrion and Penny in chapter 6, you would think she would somewhat upgrade her weapon to have more fighting capabilities, but oh well.
Yeah, for sure. Streamlabs down, boy. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Streamlabs and telling people to like watch their language, especially when it was like going towards Lee, and it's like Lee hasn't said anything since Jade putting Salem down. I don't know what triggers Streamlabs, because some people swore in my last stream. Streamlabs said nothing, and then someone said assault, and then it just was like, don't swear. And it's like, that wasn't a swear word though. Since he's saying, I know it's supposed to be part of Robin's Robin Hood aesthetic, but like in the case she could have done a Men in Tights thing, or the feathered cap. I mean, like, she could have at least had dust infused arrows to shoot at Tyrion. Like maybe electric arrows, so if he caught it, he just gets electrocuted. There's a lot you could have done with those arrows. Oh, Senzi is saying, wait, they went immediately from the Schneid dinner to Mantle, so she probably had the arrows for a show of that she's armed, but willing to not be lethal. Yeah, that was kind of what I was saying with like the maybe they used arrows because they only kind of like protested, you know?
That's fair.
They stole stuff. They weren't like, well, if we use like dust infused bullets, that could potentially kill a huntsman, but if we're using arrows, like they're slow enough that it'll just break the aura and they'll have fast enough reflexes to not have a lethal hit. Of course, Clover uses a fishing pole. To me, that feels a lot less practical.
To be fair, though, he has a good luck semblance. He uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, I have to say, like, there's a JoJo stand in part 5 where a guy uses a fishing pole, and it is the freakiest weapon in all of JoJo that I've seen. And whenever I'm reminded that Clover uses a fishing pole, I'm just like, JoJo war flashbacks. Because honestly, it was just gross to see people like get hooked and then like dragged.
Oh.
It was yeah, disgusting. But yeah, I don't know what's up with Clover. Like, why did he choose a fishing pole? Like, it's not even also a gun, is it?
No, I do believe it is not a gun.
It's like one of the few things that's not also a gun, and it's like, this would make so much sense if it was also a gun. Like, a fishing pole could easily turn into a rifle, or it could shrink down into a pistol, and it would be a little bit more effective, but sure. Just be a weird lasso type weapon. Maybe that's why he's gonna get killed by Tyrion. His weapon's so weird. Robin's like, at least mine could shoot arrows. Like, come on. Yeah. So what are some of your predictions for tomorrow's episode?
Well, we're definitely gonna obviously get a bunch of Ironwood versus Watts.
Mm-hmm.
Going off, of course, that end statement in the description, I'm definitely expecting Cinder and Neo to start putting their plan into action. Some Neo and Oscar interaction, possibly Neo versus Oscar. We'll see what happens. Maybe some of the trio versus Tyrion fight, but I'm not expecting like a lot of it. Maybe the first half, and then it ending with Clover dying, and then save the rest of the fight for another chapter. I'm very interested as to what they're gonna do with Team Ruby and Junior in the Aesops for the rest of the volume, because they're not really doing anything big at the moment.
Yeah, they're just helping people evacuate. So I'm like, when are they gonna do anything? Although we did see Ruby try to use the Silver Eyes again.
Silver Eyes, yeah.
Yeah. However, it's not the finale, so of course they didn't work. She has to wait till the finale for them to work, but yeah, there was also like a musical cue while she was like closing her eyes,
yeah,
trying to focus.
It was the notes from Indomitable.
Okay, because I couldn't recognize where the musical cue was from. I was like, I do not recognize where it's from. I thought it might, I don't know.
It was like part of it was notes from Indomitable, and part of it was the music when she first tried it in the Volume 6 finale, but then failed because she kept thinking about negative things.
Yeah, and she just kind of like got distracted, it seemed like, in this episode. Like, too much noise and concern for Penny happened.
Speaking of concern for Penny, her hitting the building and then just going, ow, was the most adorable thing ever.
It was like, Penny, can you like turn down the adorable just a little bit? People are dying. Like, it's just, I love Penny so much, and I'm really glad that at this point it doesn't look like she's gonna get hacked, because that was like,
yeah,
a big fear for me.
Although I am scared that she will die again, and concerning Pietro's condition, she won't be able to come back this time.
Oh, whoa. That just reminded me of my theory, but my theory involved her getting hacked. My theory, like, if she got hacked, would be like Ruby would be facing off with her, and then like Penny would eventually wake up and hold herself back enough for Ruby to deactivate her.
To kill her.
Yeah. And then Pietro, using the love of a father, gives his life to bring her back one last time.
Oh.
Because there's, the trust love, and it's like, the love of friendship for Penny to, like, come back and, like, fight the hacking enough to, like, deactivate herself, and then, like, Pietro's love to bring her back and have it be, like, really sad, but also bring some sort of seriousness to, like, Penny's life. Because right now I feel like no one's really attached to, like, Penny and her life. Like, we're like, oh, we've seen her die, she could die again and come back.
Yeah, well, that was mostly me when the first chapter came out. I was like, oh, Penny came back. I don't have to, like, feel worried that she'll not be able to come back again, because she's a robot and Pietro was able to rebuild her again. But then when he made the explanation of, oh, he gives away parts of his aura each time he rebuilds her, now that's a problem.
Yeah, it's just, Sonic Rose is saying they just gotta make sure they activate two-step verification when they reactivate her, so it doesn't happen again. Like, Pietro gets a text message, hey, someone's trying to hack into Penny. Was this you? No. Someone tried to log into your Penny. Was this you? You want to change your password? Sure.
Inspector Who reacts. Big plot twist. Watson and Tyrion die and the Grimmer push back, and that's when Salem shows up. That's similar to what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Tyrion to be killed by either Crow or Robin, and Watts to get imprisoned by Ironwood, and everyone thinks everything is fine and dandy, and then Salem shows up at the very end.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting, like, part of me is kind of wondering, like, if the last line of the episode 11 description is a hint towards that, because, like, the biggest threat, however, may be hiding where they least expect it, and it's like, Salem is potentially the biggest threat. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we do know she's on her way to Atlas.
Yeah.
Unless RWBY faked us out with that Volume 6 after credit scene, but I don't
I
think
hope
they will.
not, because I am very much ready for her to just show up at Atlas with an army of flying monkeys.
Seriously, and with there being like 3 chapters left, I feel like the next chapter will be a good time. That would actually be something that for Team RWBY and Junior to go after.
Now that, yes,
We
that
were
is a
just
good
like, oh man, they have nothing to do other than save more civilians, which that'll be boring to watch after so long. Them going after Salem and taking her on head first, that'd be something. Vincent didn't even say anything. Leave him alone, Streamlabs. What the heck? It's just like, it's like I'm trying to find his last message. He's like, "Oh yeah, Cal predicted."
Oh, Salem
that...
said "sup bitches."
Oh,
Even
did he?
so, like, that's not really. No one cares.
Yeah. Streamlabs going on me on site list. Gosh. Now it's saying it again. I'm like, Streamlabs, chill out. Like, can I?
I'm just imagining.
I'm
in
putting
Volume 4.
Streamlabs in timeout. I just put Streamlabs in timeout. Okay. I apparently we could just put Streamlabs into timeout. Okay.
Now I'm just imagining in Volume 4 when Tyrion said "you bitch," all of a sudden a Streamlabs notification comes up saying, "Tyrion, please watch your foul language."
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so great. Also, Vincent, when I was looking for where he could have possibly swore, I saw he said, I remember Cal predicted that Maria would give some of her aura to Penny. So, yeah, I can imagine her going half and half with Penny.
Yeah. It would also give Maria more of something to do, because right now she's kind of just being there as like an emotional anchor for Pietro at this point.
Yeah. Well, one question I would have is like if they use a different person's aura to reactivate Penny,
Would that give her a new identity?
or like change her a bit, you know? Like would she have
Yeah.
a bit of their mannerisms added or something?
It's possible. Oh god, now I'm just imagining Penny acting like a sassy old woman.
Well, because I imagine like Penny acts like Pietro's vision of what he thinks of a daughter. Like,
Yeah.
so like if Maria was to give her aura, like what would Maria's vision of a daughter look like?
Hmm.
Oh, Lee's saying like she thinks Jean will because he has a lot of aura.
That is, yeah.
He would make the most sense.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, that is a solution to Penny's problem if she were ever to get, deactivated or destroyed again. Jean is the person with pretty much an almost unlimited supply of aura.
Yeah. Yeah. And also Sonic Rose saying Penny is just gonna act like Church. It'll be great. You know, that was my original Penny theory of like if Penny returned theory that she'd have like no memory of RWBY and then RWBY would have to be caboose and re-explain Church to Church pretty much. And then Penny will eventually become that. But
I know that's what Sonic Rose was referring to, but instead my mind went to season 1 when Church was killed and Church coming back as a ghost just going, "Tucker, I've come back with a warning."
yeah. RWBY, I've come back with a warning. Don't trust Weiss's coffee. There was a reason why she took it back in Volume 5. She changed her mind. Unicorn War is saying, still waiting for on Nora's backstory with Freya before Freya, is murdered. I mean, they could technically do a reverse, like they kill Freya, then they do the backstory, because they did something similar in Volume 3.
Oh, I forgot to mention a detail of that Nora theory that I didn't say earlier.
Oh.
The reason that Nora would be specifically in Kuroyuri when she reaches Anima is because a lot of people have pointed out that the paintings in Freya's room, some of them feature Kuroyuri, and I theorized that, maybe Freya went to Kuroyuri at some point and got a painting of it, and told Nora that that was a place she enjoyed in anima, so Nora's first instinct was to head to a place that Freya loved.
Well, also Kuroyuri, that was like free of the kingdoms too. It was independent.
Yeah.
So it could have been like, hey, don't trust the kingdoms because obviously they're screwing us over now. Go to Kuroyuri, it's free. That could be another reason. Vincent saying, that reminds me, I had a nightmare that Neo kills Freya and she's disguised as Winter and Neo gets the Winter Maiden powers. Would that work? Would that work? Because if she's disguised as Winter, would the powers
Then
be able to like tell the difference?
Yeah, that's a good point, because Freya would think that is Winter, and then
think of Winter.
it would go to, think it is Winter, and it would go to actual, unless Neo were to undisguise right after, you know,
Yeah.
stabbing Freya, and then Freya would see Neo's face as the last thing in her mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Still, like, I'm still trying to catch up on the comments because we got a lot in a bit. Okay, I'm imagining Ruby attacking Cinder, and then catching Oscar and both of them turning red. Don't mind me. Like, if
I would love that.
she just catches Oscar making out with another version of herself, and she's like, "What the heck is going on here?" Hey, Spectre, how are you?
Also, if she walks in and doesn't see them making out, but just sees Oscar interacting with Neo Ruby, Ruby would just go, "When did I have a twin?"
Yeah. She's like, there's a lot that I don't know about my mom. It's possible I have another sibling. Yeah. Well, I imagine like Neo would just immediately undisguise right there, and then like Oscar would turn and see Neo and just freak out. Yeah. Yeah. Ty got to it again. Gosh dang it.
Speaking of Cinder and Neo, everyone's been pointing out that error was Cinder's reflection in the window.
I honestly did not notice it my first time watching.
Neither did I.
It shows how much I know how reflections work.
Well, it was also the fact that when Cinder was talking, I was focused on her actual model and I wasn't actually looking at the window, so I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I was a bit of the mix, but I can't like 100% say. I'm just willing to be like, you know what? I just didn't think too much into the reflection. Because like her eye patch is on this side, but it showed like a normal, her other eye on the same side. And
yeah.
It's like, oh, if that was a mirror, like if anything, it seems like what they did was they had a glass layer for the window, and then they had just another Cinder model looking back through it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then her left eye would still be on her left, but like it's, yeah. Dude, Streamlabs, I put you in timeout. Let's just put you in timeout again, huh?
Oh yeah, thank you, Cincy, for mentioning that. A lot of people have actually been theorizing that Cinder's reflection being opposite.
Yeah. Is peering back. You know, I wonder if that's like somehow my Pyrrha theory is becoming so universally acclaimed that other people are adding on their own bits that I don't know about.
Because people did mention that in the reflection, Cinder weirdly looks like saddened and kind of disappointed, whereas when she turns back, she looks focused on Neo, like, you know, wondering if, oh, you said the farm boy has the lamp, get it now.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to that scene right now in the episode so I can, like, get a better look. It's somewhere around the 10-minute mark, I think.
Rose, how would that Pyrrha idea work? Did Cinder inhale some of the dust on accident? No, Pyrrha was inside. The theory is actually that since Pyrrha was currently going through, you know, the aura transfer experiment with Amber when Cinder took the Fall main powers, that possibly some of Pyrrha's soul got infused with the Fall main powers.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's my theory. And this has been a theory since Volume 3 that I used to never shut up about. my theory was like, okay, how do we bring Pyrrha back while still having her dead, so the death isn't like cheapened or anything like that?
Yeah.
And it was basically like the maiden powers, kind of like how like Ozpin transferred to Oscar, kind of transfer similar to that. The powers have their own consciousness, and it will take form of the previous user, and which would be Pyrrha, kind of. And I say kind of because there was also Amber, and Pyrrha didn't seem to get a whole lot of it, but but Pyrrha would be kind of inside Cinder, telling her like, you're not supposed to be doing this. A maiden's supposed to be like fighting against Salem and protecting the world. Like, you need to like change. And I felt for so long that the show was teasing that, because one, Oscar happened, and then two, at the end of Volume 4, we see like Cinder training with the maiden powers, and like Salem's telling her, you gotta make it your own and like fight against it. But I guess everyone was like, nah, that was the Grim Arm. Like, that wasn't Pyrrha or like the maiden powers. And at this point, I felt like they would have revealed it.
Well, there's also the fact that Crow, in a much needed talk, like, Thomas just mentioned in the chat, Crow mentioned the main souls become combined when the power is transferred.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, so I guess technically my theory is canon. It's just the story aspect of my theory that's missing so far. But yeah, that was my theory. Like, for years. Like, you could go back to like VYTALCast #1, and I'm pretty sure I talk about it 4 years ago, because I was like, this is how we bring Pyrrha back. Pyrrha's coming back. Pyrrha's coming back. But it was like, she's still gonna be dead, but she'll be back. So since the process wasn't complete, what is the part of Pyrrha's soul got attached to Cinder, like a Harry Voldemort thing? I think yes, kind of. Kinda, not really.
Harry and Voldemort was more like two people that were connected and had similar abilities, but they didn't really like have parts of each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be more like Oscar and Ozpin.
Yeah.
But like less cooperative in this case. Let's see. It's weird because we've never heard or seen evidence of that anywhere else. Like, Raven doesn't seem to have a previous Springs personality or anything. Yeah. Although, like, Raven seems to like be hiding a lot of herself when she talks to people. Like, I'm not trying to like read too much in, but I feel like she's too busy having guilt or feeling bad for like her past mistakes and choices. Or she's at least starting to. I don't know. I feel like Raven had enough time to like overpower the previous Spring.
Yeah.
Also, I am looking back at like the Cinder shot that everyone's talking about, where she looks sad, and I don't know. Like, part of me is wondering if she's just thinking about Salem in that moment. As much as I would love for it to be the Pyrrha theory.
Yeah.
I think it's just her thinking of like, because she, in that moment, she's like, they beat us to Atlas. You know, how did they beat us? Like, she was very much thinking like, this could have been my moment to like regain Salem's favor, and she's just thinking about how she's disappointed mother. True, it's just the maiden soul combining was mentioned, so I don't know if they're keeping that or if they dropped it. Yeah. Raven and Last Spring do have a common thread of running a way out of fear. Oh yeah, they do. They do have that common thread. Huh. Anyway. Man, what else do you think could be happening in this volume?
Pretty much went through everything that I wanted to talk about, honestly.
Yeah. I do. I just hope that like that Salem doesn't arrive at Atlas quite yet, because I I really want to avoid like what happened in Volume Five's finale, which was like having too much on the plate at the same time.
Yeah, like
And
if Salem were to arrive, I would expect it in like chapter 12, maybe chapter 13, and that would lead into volume 8, something like that.
because we know Volume Eight's going to be a shorter volume,
Yeah.
so it would make more sense if that was like the fall of Atlas slash Salem's attack,
Yeah.
and like basically the aftermath of that. But or maybe who knows? Maybe it's like the uniting of humanity getting together. Because if the Amity Arena comes out, like, do you think Vacuo would kind of like just send over the Maiden with the relic, so they have everything together?
Honestly, I just thought of something. If Neo or Nora were to become the Winter Maiden, what would Winter's reaction to that be? Because she did kind of say that she wanted to be the Winter Maiden because she had chosen to make it her destiny. If that were to be ripped away from her, what would her mindset be?
Oof. I feel like she has like such a strong sense for herself that like she doesn't really like failure, like failing, and she would kind of take that as like a comment on her like herself as a person, I guess.
Yeah.
And she'd be thinking that she's just one big failure herself, maybe. And she'd also probably take it personal that she was caring for Freya for who knows how long and still wasn't the last thought. Yeah. Volume 8, Escape from Atlas. Volume 8 being the Act 2, maybe. Yeah. Like, okay, so like if Salem did show up, Volume 8 could definitely be like Escape from Atlas, because it could be her just wrecking stuff up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, run away.
And then volume 9 would be the journey to Vacuo.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for, because that means we can finally meet up with Team Coffee and Team Sun again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so happy to see Team Coffee back. Like I just love Coco and and all of them so much.
Speaking of which, reminder, guys, Before the Dawn comes out in June? Yeah, June. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys buy that shortly before RTX, you could have something to read on your flight over. I actually bought my copy at RTX, which was a bit of a mistake. I feel like the RT store at RTX had some pricing miscommunication with some items. And I think the book, Before the Fall, was like, it was listed at $10, but I paid 15 for it. So I was like,
that's weird.
Yeah, like when they scanned it, it pulled up $15. So I'm like,
I feel like it should not be 15.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it on Amazon a few days ago, and it was only like, it was listed as $10.99, I think, and with tax and shipping, it came out to like 12 or 13.
Okay. Yeah, and I do know sometimes like the RT store, during RTX will have stuff marked up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there are some shirts that you'll see that are cheaper if you just bought them on the RT store online rather than at RTX, which is kind of a shame that there's like an RTX tax attached. But I could also understand because they're trying to pay for the whole convention center as well. But brave Lady Robin run away. Gosh. Yeah. Wait, what's coming out? Oh, Before the Dawn's the next book, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, I guess we can talk about it.
You seem to know about the book more than me. Just be like...
I don't know much about it other than the fact that we're having focus on Team Coffee and Team Sun, and I don't know anything about the plot that isn't already in the synopsis, so don't ask me any questions, guys, about
Alrighty. It comes out in June.
Yeah, late. I have my delivery set for the release date. Let me see the exact date. I think it's like late June, maybe. I think so.
Oh, also, I agree with Lee Stays Dabbing. If you guys are going to RTX and there's stuff you want at the RT store booth, um, wait till Sunday because they'll discount stuff. However, there is the risk of some stuff being sold out. And I think Sunday was the day I bought the book. And I think that might have been why there was the pricing miscommunication. Because it was
Ah,
definitely like a new plaque put down for like $10. Like they were marking the price down. And then the computer scanned it at the original price it was all weekend. But
oh, never mind. It does not come out in June. It comes out in July. Okay.
oh man, that's definitely like after RTX then. Because RTX is
Yeah.
right at the beginning of July.
Oh, yeah. That's very much after RTX then, because it comes out July 21st.
Dang it. You know, it would have been really cool that if it like came out like RTX weekend and basically like you could get the first copies of the book and you know
I
they
wouldn't be
likely have
surprised
the
if they have early copies.
and they would have the author there too, so
Yeah.
you could basically be doing a whole book signing of like a book release.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah, RTX weekend early access. Yeah, that'd be really cool. um Yeah. What did Thomas say? I can't believe July. Oh, lie about the release. But good job, Thomas. That was a good pun. Yeah. Oh man, there's just so much I'm like looking forward to with RTX. It's mind blowing. I just it would be cool if they did an early release of the book there. Because sometimes like the RT store booth, they would do like RTX exclusive merch like okay, I'm gonna like double check that this is an RTX exclusive, but they sold Ruby Rose's scythe,
Oh, yeah.
and it was pretty cool. Like some people looked at it and they're like, the quality's not the best, but like it's pretty well made if you don't want to make it yourself. It was like $200. Whew, it was a lot, but you know, like I was half tempted to drop the money on it, honestly. Um, wow, the Rooster Teeth store is very organized now. Okay, so there's a Crescent Rose metallic figure now. That's
Ooh.
cool. Oh yeah, they got the scythe. Wow, it's $400. It was.
Wow.
I remember it being 200 at RTX. That. Oof. I guess you have like $200 knocked off if you just bought it at RTX. Um, but yeah, I guess you could still buy it online if you really wanted.
Just make sure you have enough for, to buy it plus tax and shipping.
Yeah, seriously, like yeah, tax and shipping. It's just, oof. Yeah, and I do remember some people saying like, the quality like, as like Senzi said, I can make the scythe for cheaper. Like, you could make your own scythe for cheaper, and the quality might be the same, if not better, as well. So it's like, personally, I would say make it yourself, and you could probably make it
Yeah.
more to scale as well. I've seen some people make some, like, huge crescent roses, and, like, for years, like, Ruby wasn't that big up until, like, Volume 3 or after
Yeah.
Volume 3. And I remember it was like the middle of Volume 4, so it was like still kind of early and not that big, especially here in Utah where I'm at. And I saw this giant crescent rose over a sea of heads at Comic-Con, and I was like, I gotta find that Ruby cosplayer. it was like such a big highlight for me because back then it was like so rare, and now it's like I'm almost more surprised to not see any Ruby cosplayers to an event if I go. Oh man, someone Senzi says they know a Crow cosplayer who made a working Harbinger. That would be cool. I'm actually debating about making Crow for RTX. But Jeremy, have you ever thought about doing cosplay?
I actually am going to be cosplaying Volume 6 and 7 Oscar at MegaCon this year.
Oh, nice. How's that going along?
I still need to buy the cosplay outfit for for the most part, but I'm thinking of dyeing my hair black and wearing colored contacts. So yeah,
Nice.
there's that.
Yeah, like I found like a really nice pair of contacts that would work for Crow on Oh My Kitty, which a lot of my friends use that company for their color contacts for cosplay. I just need to find a good wig for Crow because for me, I like to use wigs for cosplay. I don't like dyeing my hair. Um, let's see. Lee Jean is saying, I low key want to make tiny versions of the weapons with cardboard or something someday. You know, um, someone actually has done that. I've showcased that on VYTALCast before. It was made by AC Gears and Arms, and they posted it on the Discord too. Very talented. But yeah, go ahead and make those miniatures. Sonic Roses.
Also, I saw some people talk about this in the chat before. If you have not finished After the Fall, or you still want to read After the Fall, do it. It's good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm remembering like uh the person that was like Coco's not lesbian or something like that, and then like or they swore off the book because of like one sentence or one paragraph
Yes,
in the entire
I remember
book.
that person.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, so stupid. And then they'll be like, I'm not homophobic, but I'm not gonna read the book because of one gay sentence in the entire 300-page book. It's just like, listen, if Sun doesn't try to set up Coco with Ilya, oh my gosh, yeah, that would be. Lee, don't make me ship
Coco
it.
and Ilya is the one ship so far in the show that doesn't have canon interactions that I ship.
Yeah, I was like, man, that like their character interaction can work.
Like, I literally saw someone post that on Twitter. I think it was Lee, actually. Lee, hi. Someone posted that people should ship Coco and Ilya more, and then I thought, oh my god, that actually works out really well.
Wow. Oh, and Senzi is recommending like a wig site, cosmom.com. Their friend runs it, and they'll also style it for you upon commission. That's really nice because I know some people that do like wig commissions too, where they'll like pick out the wig and style it for you, based on the character you want. Yeah, yeah, it's nice. I like seeing like cosplayers working together to like or like offering services for other cosplayers, and same with like YouTubers as well. Like I've helped quite a few other RWBY tubers with starting their channels, or like back in Volume 4, I actually almost accidentally got my channel shut down from helping another YouTuber, but because they're like, hey, my computer broke, I can't like record the RWBY volume, or like I don't have the files for the RWBY episodes. Can you like upload them unlisted for me to download? And you know, like when you're posting an entire episode unedited, even if it's unlisted, if Rooster Teeth sees that, they're gonna be like, and shut down, you know, or like strike. And I was like, hey, can we switch to Google Docs? I like, because there are some times where they just go days without even like touching it, and I'm like, have you downloaded it yet? Or like they won't tell me, and I'm like, my channel can get in trouble. And then I did get a warning, and I was like, haha, I gotta switch to Google Docs. And like they were just like, you're too much trouble for me, and they like they stopped. Yeah. And Thomas is saying that's when you make a separate account. Yes, but YouTube has a time limit on your videos. When you first start making videos, you can't make longer than 15 minutes, I think, at first. There's like a...
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's until you make like 10 or so videos, which honestly you could just upload the same video 10 times.
Yeah.
But then and you guys are like, I remember those days. It's still a thing, because like my mom tried to make it, and my mom tried to make or post a video to YouTube, and it still got capped out. Yeah. But yeah, it's like once you upload like 5 videos, then they remove the cap. You don't have to be verified yet or anything like that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's weird how YouTube works.
I must have gone through the first 10 or so videos unconsciously then, because the only oldest videos I can remember were reaction videos I used to do that are now long since deleted, but they were reactions to Madoka Magica,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they were as long as the episodes themselves. So yeah, obviously I had gone past that by that point.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like your reaction to Volume 3 would be amazing.
I did actually do reactions to Volume 4 up through Chapter 7, but then I just did not have the time to record past that after that point, so I just deleted the rest of them.
Oh. Yeah, and also Senzi and everyone like to get rid of the 15-minute barrier, like it's pretty easy. Like it's pretty much like you upload a video or a few videos and they're like, "All right, we'll allow you to upload longer." It's it's weird. It's super easy. And yeah, Sonic Rose, there's always like tutorials online on how to edit stuff. But yeah, um what else? Is there anything else you want to talk about in relation to this chapter?
Not really. One of my favorite moments though was when Ruby told Penny she has a plan, and Penny like just stood there for a second and went, "So what is it?"
Yeah, that was kind of like a weird meta moment for me.
Yeah, because I remember a lot of people in Volume 1, some of the worst complainers were like, how come Ruby says she has a plan, but we don't actually see her telling everyone what her plan is? And I feel like that was meant to call out the haters that were like, Ruby never actually explains her plans to anyone.
Oh my gosh, just like how Blake left Yang to die and like is totally entitled to forgiveness, but
We don't
yeah.
talk about that. We don't talk about that specific comment by that specific person.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like so salty right now. I'm like, man, some people would just be like, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Good quote, Inspector Who. I like that series. Yeah, like I thought it was kind of a meta moment because one, what you said, but two, I said, "What is it?" the exact same time as Penny, and it was like, "Oh my gosh, I share a brain cell with a robot." Ooh, you know, like I was like, "Good girl." And Elise States Davide is like, "And moving over to Shadecast." Yeah. Oh, hey. Speaking of Shade, or rather, getting rid of Shade. Like I do want to publicly apologize to a RWBY tuber. Not that I did anything wrong or said anything bad to them, but I talked to Arnold a bit earlier this week, and he was under the impression that I took like his schedule time a little personally, which I didn't. But like I think the way I portrayed like how I felt about like how it affected the channel and stuff portrayed that. So I just want to publicly apologize and make myself look dumb in front of everyone. So when Arnold does watch this afterwards, he knows that I'm serious and willing to make myself look dumb, to be like, hey, I'm sorry. There's no bad blood. Never was. Yeah, and like December's like a really hard month for my family now, because during Volume 6, we basically spent like a month watching my stepfather die, and then he did die, and then like this last December was just like first Christmas without him, and then I spent like all last year without health insurance, and I'm now on health insurance again, and I'm just now getting back on meds, and my body's like readjusting. So it's like, all right, my depression is kind of starting to go away, which could make me take things a little more personal, and like with the meds, I'm going through a few mood swings that I'm not entirely used to, so I'm still like leveling out, but.
Okay.
Anyway, just want to be like, hey, I'm sorry. Here are the reasons why. But yeah, Arnold's a good guy, and I like watching his streams. Like I tried switching to Saturday morning for VYTALCast, but Saturday morning was really hard because I like sleeping, and I was just too tired last Saturday when I did it, and then yeah, it was just too hard on guests too.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was a long rant. Unrelated. Yeah. I thought you meant Shade as in Shade Academy. Oh, wait a second. That is an academy, huh? Isn't that Vacuo's academy?
Yeah, that's Vacuo's academy.
Dude. I want to see their students throwing shade then. Yeah. Thomas, God, retracted the American healthcare system. Also, I redacted because Streamlabs be evil. Yeah, I I get you on that. Streamlabs, I'm gonna have to like look at the bot settings and be like, what is your problem, my dude? But yeah. Rants are okay. You're still loved by everyone here. No worries. Thank you. I want someone to throw an umbrella, throwing shade. RWBY did that in Volume 3. And that's how we lost Neo for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Neo could totally be thrown an umbrella next episode. You know, if she ever wanted to use a propeller attack. Like, just whoosh, javelin throw it. If Jean walks into the room, she'll just turn into Pyrrha and then javelin throw her umbrella at him.
Oh, don't, no.
It's just like, yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking of like Pyrrha now because you guys brought it up and it was like,
I'm sorry, look, it's just a theory that I wanted to talk about.
I know, I just miss Pyrrha so much. And I was talking to Lady Stardust last night about like how for years people would torment me over Pyrrha, and now it's like tables have turned. I now torment others about Pyrrha. Ever since the first RTX panel, I'm like, all right, it's my turn to make the Pyrrha jokes. So, yeah. Man, that idea is so mean, but so great. Yeah. Cinder twice. Huh, so you survived my javelin. Winter, what did you just say? Oh, yeah, because does Cinder know about the whole javelin moment in Volume 5? I don't think she does. But also, would Weiss have a scar from that?
From what I know, I don't think so. I know she had the tear in her, you know, her
clothes,
anima arc dress, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think her entire skin healed after Jean used his aura amplification.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it seemed like a perfect regen. Like, it was like perfectly healed. Whereas like Blake has her stab wounds because they weren't like regenerated or anything like that. Yeah. Vincent's like, whenever he's like, for some reason when I heard javelin, I'm thinking of a lock-on rocket launcher.
Oh, there is one thing I forgot to mention about this chapter. I really enjoyed the sequence of Blake luring out the Megaliath with, well, being a decoy, of course.
Oh, using
but
her
I also,
semblance.
yes, I love that specifically this volume brought back the use of her semblance with using dust to make elemental copies of herself.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool like change or evolution of her semblance as well. Especially when like she could do like the one that explodes after people hit it. Was it the Atom fight that we first saw that, or
no, that was when she fought Torchwick in Volume 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then she never used it again until Volume 7.
Yep. Blake to Weiss, so you got stabbed and don't have a scar. Love to know how that feels. I like how, like, I read that in, like, Volume 1 Blake. Like, you know how, like, Volume 1 Blake was just so dry with her humor? Yeah. I'm glad Blake is kind of, like, opening up and being, like, a little more charming and cute and stuff.
Although I still will always love, almost as lovely as this book, that I will continue to read.
That's a mood.
As you leave.
The most relatable moment in RWBY, right there. Oh, speaking of, you're a shipper of Bumblebee, right?
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
So, do you when do you think like their kiss is gonna happen if they kiss?
Everyone's been asking that. If it is going to be this volume, I suspect chapter 12 or 13.
Okay, I think that's a safe bet. Yeah.
I don't expect it in chapter 11. I feel that's too early.
Yeah, yeah, me neither. Oh, also, I just now remember my chapter 11 joke. With the chapter 11 being 20 minutes and 20 seconds long, we're all gonna have 20/20 vision to watch it.
He did this before the stream, y'all, and
I waited long enough for you to forget. So long that I forgot. Yeah. Okay, but what about Lucky Charms? Do you think they're gonna like do a? Are they gonna like canonly confirm that at all?
I hope so, because
like if Clover
damn, I
dies,
love
they're
Lucky
gonna
Charms.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
David, leave your own stream, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But yeah, what do you think?
Hopefully, if Clover does die, they do canonly confirm Lucky Charms, because
or
damn,
hopefully
I
if he
love
doesn't
that shit.
die. Yeah, or even
if he doesn't, if he doesn't die, then yes, please hashtag give Crow a boyfriend.
Yeah, but and I saw someone in the chat, and I forgot to bring it up, but like if some people were saying they think it's unlikely Clover would die because it would be kind of following the bury your gaze trope. How do you feel about that? Like if they did kill Clover?
If they did kill Clover, I personally would not be too mad about it, considering we do. I would be mad about it if Clover was like one of the few like LGBT characters that we had.
Like he was like the token gay, and then gets killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we have Ilya, we have Coco, we have Blake and Yang. We have a bunch of LGBT characters in RWBY now, and it's just like
and
if
Crow would
one,
still be alive.
Yeah. If one were to, be killed, I would be saddened, but I wouldn't consider it the end of the world.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like, if Rooster Teeth was to go so hard against that trope, that essentially just make plot armor
for all the LGBT characters, yeah.
And then you lose like any sense of threat because there's so many LGBT characters in the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, which they're like, nah, someone's gonna die. Well, we got our token straight that's still alive, dead. Now they're all dead. Just like the last straight person. Oh wait, maybe that was Adam. Just kidding. I'm joking.
Okay, that was good.
Everyone is at least bi or something. I don't know. Plot twist: Robin dies. Ah man, if Robin dies, I'd be so sad. And also, like, how would Mantle react to that?
I hope Robin doesn't die, because I want her to take Jock's seat on the council now that it's vacant, because, the motherfucker's in jail.
Yes. Oh, and also protect Jean, the one good straight boy. Yes. The one straight boy that also goes against gender stereotypes.
Please protect my beautiful blonde bean.
Yeah. Dude, I just loved Jean's moment where he's like, everybody get in line now.
Yes,
like,
thank you. Honestly, I love the fact that I think it's all pretty obvious at this point that in this volume specifically, Miles has been channeling a lot of his experience as David in Camp into John for this volume.
Yeah. Like, they gave him the David Camp haircut. Now they gave him the personality trait.
Reality.
David from Camp is slowly leaking into Jean's portrayal. Yeah, I love Sean. Also, I just had the idea that he embroiders as a hobby. Huh. Yeah, embroidering. I could see him doing that, possibly. Like, he was raised with mostly sisters, so I could see that. Camp RWBY is starting. Yeah. Oh, hey, okay, so Rooster Teeth did their, like, Rooster Teeth 2020 video.
Yeah.
What do you think about, like, a lack of Genlock in Camp?
Camp makes me slightly worried, but I'm willing to wait for a future announcement.
Mhm.
Genlock, I'm not sure what to think, because we know about the HBO Max announcement and everything, so
Mhm.
maybe it's just that they're saving it for HBO Max related stuff and all that. But there is the point that, like, maybe it's like Genlock is slowly just moving away from RT as an identity, and it's becoming more a Warner Brothers in general type thing.
Yeah, that was something that I was thinking of, like, or because it's launched on HBO Max, that Rooster Teeth didn't include it because they didn't want people to be under the impression
Yeah,
they could find it on the RT site. Or I thought maybe they pushed it back to 2021.
that's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Sonic
The
Roses.
reason I'm
Hmm,
yeah, the
keep
reason
going.
I'm scared that it's going to become less an RT property and more a Warner Brothers property in general is because, as I mentioned in a few tweets a few months ago about the Genlock Blu-ray, uh, the Genlock Blu-ray gives RT barely any credit whatsoever.
Yeah.
The box art only has the RT logo on the very back in a small corner. There's no advertisements for any Rooster Teeth projects when you put the disc in, and the only RT related thing in there on the disc that you can find is, of course, the RT animation logo when you start each episode. And if you go searching in the special features for RT related things, that's the only way you see any RT influence on Genlock in there. They're treating it almost like Warner Brothers made it and RT had almost next to no involvement, which is
Mhm.
yikes.
Yeah. Lee is saying that she thinks that they said they only showed things they had footage for, which I could understand that, and I
That's
guess
very
like
true. Yeah.
um, although I thought they would have done something like they did with Volume 8 and show like some sort of genlock footage
Oh, for like
from
placeholder
season one,
footage?
like just
Yeah.
from season one, and be like, all right, this is footage we have from season one, but to represent that we're doing season two, because obviously like the leaked footage in that was from this week's chapter of
Yeah.
RWBY, which I guess it wasn't too much of a spoiler. It's like, ooh, spoiler, Watson and Ironwood are fighting, ooh, spoiler, he does the Mario jump. Ooh, spoiler, Watts shoots his gun like Joker in Smash Brothers, where he gets in a weird funky pose for the first shot.
I will admit, the 2020 video, though, makes me very excited for the new 2D show Record Keeper. I am very excited for that.
Mhm.
Especially since, given, like, what we saw of it in the video, it gives me a lot of Nomad of Nowhere vibes, which is always a plus for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm really interested to see that as well, especially since Yisa is making it, and I'm really
Yeah.
glad that she's in charge of a project now, and she did very well with like working with Camp as so.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if like her going to that and then like Eddie leaving Camp or like going from Camp to RWBY, like there's just so many of the people that were the main people for Camp going on to other projects that they're just like, all right, let's just quietly put this on hiatus or whatever
It's
until.
very possible, yeah.
Mhm.
It also saddens me because this pretty much confirms now at this point that Nomad of Nowhere is gone forever.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, the creator of Nomad, they posted on Twitter like, was it in
Oh yeah,
December, November? Like, they
I
post.
I think it was November that they had heard nothing about RT wanting to continue it, and that
Well, like RT wasn't even like replying to them.
yeah,
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's canceled, but they're gonna try to do a spiritual successor series.
yeah, in the form of like a comic or something.
Yeah, so it's like at least we'll get like some sort of continuation. And honestly, with Rooster Teeth having a partnership with DC, I think DC coming out with a comic series for Nomad and Nowhere will be the perfect solution if they don't want to like do animation.
And it would probably, well, would it cost less? That depends.
I would argue yes because you don't have to pay voice actors, and
Yeah,
um, with the art style being so simple that
yeah,
it wouldn't cost as much to make as it would with like the RWBY comic, where like those probably take longer to draw because they're
yeah.
more complex and stuff.
And we wouldn't have to waste time and energy on the flow and everything of the animation and all that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they also wouldn't have to worry about like conflicting with the animation series because if it's just moving on forward from where Nomad of Nowhere left off.
Yeah.
Whereas like the RWBY comics, they're like, all right, we can't break canon. We gotta like keep things aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if y'all haven't read the RWBY DC comics, do so. They're nice little stories that take place during the anima arc.
I've been interested. I've just been like waiting for them to be finished so I could do like a big binge of it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They started off being just during the time skip between volumes 3 and 4, but starting with I think Blake's second chapter, yeah, the second Blake chapter, they've officially gone into volume 4, volume 4 time, volume 4 territory, some of the territory of the gap between 4 and 5, stuff like that. I feel like, as may have said, I did say this in the tweet on Twitter. What may have said? Wow. I view the DC comics as deleted concepts for the Beacon and Anima arcs that Kirby was not able to do because of a lack of time and resources.
That would
because several of the chapters are actually flashbacks to stuff that happened during the Beacon arc. So, like for example, chapter 7, which is Yang's second chapter, is basically a Bumblebee first date type situation and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah, I've seen the screenshots of that. Yeah. What we could have gotten had we not done a time skip. Yeah. Although it's kind of weird because like I've seen Miles and Carrie kind of like backtrack on like how long the time skip was.
Yeah, they started with like they
year.
originally said 6 to 8 months, and then I remember someone saying a year, and then they kind of were
shortened it to like a few months.
Yeah, and then at one point at a con they were hesitant to say exactly how long the time was because they wanted to keep it vague for the purpose of, you know, not having plot holes, and that I can somewhat understand, but it also would be nice so that, you know, we can figure out exactly how long these characters have been separated and all that.
Yeah. It's weird because if it's a 6 to 8 months gap, why is Whitley acting like he's just now seen Weiss since she got back? Well, I think it would have been for Team Ranger, as Inspector Who said. Because I do understand, from my understanding, in Volume 4, we're seeing 4 different timelines going on.
Yeah. It's weird because in the DC comics, it somewhat ties into it because in the first Weiss chapter, she's locked herself in her room, doesn't want to interact with any of her family, and that ties into Whitley being like, you're finally out of your room, it's been a while, sister, and all that. But the second Weiss chapter is her finally leaving her room for the first time and interacting with Willow. And it just makes me wonder, did she not see Whitley at all during this chapter?
Beats me. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just seeing like Inspector Who's comment on it. He's just saying Weiss's story could be more recent, Blake's much later, and Yang's is hopping. I can see that. It's kind of like The Witcher, like that Netflix series, on like how everything's kind of like,
I've been meaning to watch The Witcher, but I also want to read the books too. It's just like I need the time and money.
I 100% agree with that. And speaking of time, if you don't have anything else you want to talk about, I think today's episode could be over.
Yeah, okay with it? We could.
All right. Lee stays dabbing and say, "Toss a coin, boys." I will toss many coins. I just dropped one on the floor, but I got another one right here to go. There's Geralt. I'll throw all the coins at him. I'll I won't even underhand it. I'll overhand throw. They won't be tossed. They will be thrown.
Do I have any?
Is like, I don't.
I do have some coins over here, actually. Oh no, I dropped a dime.
Not the dime.
Actually,
Fastball that coin.
I think I have one of. Oh my god, I do have one of each. I have a penny, a dime, a nickel, and a quarter.
Oh my gosh. Thomas is like, no coins, just sunflower bottle caps. Well, hey, that's a currency in Fallout, so you're fine. It'll work. Alrighty. Well, with that, I guess we'll end today's episode, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in our reaction videos.
Yep.
And next week on my birthday for VYTALCast number 92. I don't know who's guest yet, but we'll figure that out within the next day or so. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.